but it definitely got me hyped for this Friday's Best in the World pay-per-view, which on paper has a pretty strong lineup, and I'm going to give all my picks and predictions right here on the show right now. Starting with the 8-woman tag team match, pitting the Ring of Honor Women of Honor champion Sumi Sakai against the likes of, or having her team with rather, Jenny Rose, Mayu Iwatani, and Tennille Dashwood, the former Emma, of course, taking on Kelly Klein and Odio Tai, a group consisting of Hazuki, Kajuki, I don't know how you pronounce her name, and Hana Kimura. I have not heard of most of these women. Iwatani I've only heard of from the most recent Women of Honor Championship tournament, and she was great. She had an awesome match with Deonna Purrazzo. This should be good. I'm glad the women are getting more TV time lately, as opposed to being on Ring of Honor TV like every few months. Now they're on the show like almost every single week, which is great. So this match doesn't really have any major implications whatsoever. I would assume the babyface, the group of Sakai and Dashwood, Iwatani, and Rose will go over here. Dashwood, I'm surprised she doesn't have more of a presence in the Women of Honor division in Ring of Honor, just because she is a big star. She's great in the ring, has an awesome look. I mean, all the reasons why they should have pushed her in WWE to begin with, but they didn't and let her go. I mean, she's been on most of the Ring of Honor live events, wrestling I know, but I'm surprised she has yet to step up for a shot at the Ring of Honor Women of Honor Championship. So hopefully at some point in the not-so-distant future, maybe they tease tension here. I thought she was a heel. I guess not, and I guess they realized that she's popular, and they positioned her as a babyface from the get-go in Ring of Honor. But nonetheless, this should be a good match. If I had to choose, it really doesn't matter either way because there's nothing on the line here. I would assume Sakai's team will go over and pick up the victory. Also here in the show, we got Kenny King taking on the returning Austin Aries, who recently resurfaced in Ring of Honor over WrestleMania weekend. Actually, I think before that, he might have come back at the Manhattan Mayhem show. Or maybe I think it might have been like the 16th anniversary show. I can't remember exactly, but he did resurface in Ring of Honor a few months ago. And he's been a great get for ROH. I mean, Austin Aries is one of the hottest free agents in pro wrestling right now, between his work on the Indies and Impact as the current Impact World Champion, and now back in Ring of Honor. I know at one point he was targeting the Ring of Honor World Television title. He lost that match to Silas Young in a recent episode of Ring of Honor TV, and now he's teased tension with Kenny King because he thought Kenny King kind of cost him the championship. I thought we would get a three-way with Silas Young for the belt. Silas Young is apparently no longer the Ring of Honor World Television Champion, so that's obviously won't be the case. But it will be King and Aries one-on-one. This should be a great match. Aries is the heel here. It's kind of hard to choose who's going to go over. If I had to choose, I'll say Kenny King. I don't know how long Aries will be in Ring of Honor for. If they got to give the regular the rub, I would imagine, with Kenny King picking up the victory. I mean, I guess they could stretch this out, and I would love it to if it was, a full-fledged, long-term rivalry between the two. But I just assume it's a one-shot deal. There is coming back for the match, putting over King, and that's it. So I'll go with Kenny King as your victor here. Speaking of which, the Ring of Honor World Television Championship, as I previously mentioned, was at one point held by Silas Young. I guess he dropped the belt. I just found out a few minutes ago. He dropped the belt to Punishment Martinez at one of their state-of-the-art, Master of the Art, whatever that event was called when they were touring Texas a few weeks ago. Dropped it over Money in the Bank weekend. Maybe it was because I was busy in Chicago with Money in the Bank weekend doing other stuff and I just never heard about it. But yeah, apparently I didn't know until I looked it up on Wikipedia, and I thought Wikipedia might have been wrong, but then I did further research and found out Punishment Martinez is in fact the new Ring of Honor World Television Champion, and well-deserved. I think it's great. The guy's awesome. He's been on the rise now for quite a while, for the past year or two. But yeah, he will be defending the championship on this show in a Baltimore street fight against Adam Page. Now, these two have been going at it now for a few months. I think they were supposed to have a match at the Supercard of Honor show that went to like a no contest or something. It was one of those type of shows. But yeah, they've been at odds now for a while. They've been having really good matches every single time they've clashed. The street fight stipulation is perfect for this feud. This should be an awesome match. The title being on the line only makes it that much more meaningful. Martinez just won the belt. I would have Adam Page go over. Adam Page is another guy that is a star on the rise right now. And he's been popular for a few years, ever since he joined the Bullet Club in the spring of 2016. But really, he's come into his own as an athlete, as a performer. just all around excellent is Adam Page, and I expect him to continue to serve as a breakout star in the months and years to come in Ring of Honor, as long as he doesn't jump ship to WWE or NXT or anywhere else. But nonetheless, Martinez being the newly crowned Ring of Honor TV champion, I mean, I guess I could see him dropping the belt so soon to Adam Page, because Adam Page is an equally hot hand right now. But if I had to choose, Martinez retains the title and Adam Page stays in chase mode. As long as this is not the end of the feud, because again, I assume this is going to be a great match, and maybe Adam Page gets screwed over by Martinez, and they keep the feud alive going into the next pay-per-view, whatever that might be. But again, I do expect this to be awesome either way, with Punishment Martinez walking out still the Ring of Honor World Television Champion. Another match I'm really looking forward to on the show, Jay Lethal taking on Kushida. Now, I love what Lethal's story has been now for the last couple of months, where without the Ring of Honor World title, which he has not held in close to 2 years, he feels lost. And the only way to get back to world title contention is to beat everyone who has beaten him recently. So he's lost to Matt Taven. He's lost to Punishment Martinez. He got pinned by Chuck Taylor on a recent Ring of Honor War of the World show, War of the World show. He has avenged every single one of those losses, with the exception of the one to Kushida a few months ago, and he's going to get that opportunity to avenge that loss on this show. So, in the ring, this is going to be fucking awesome. I love Kushida. I'm not too familiar with the New Japan pro wrestling scene. I don't follow it too closely. But ever since I saw him ever since I saw him have that Back to the Future gimmick, the Time Splitter gimmick with the vest and, just the whole overall appearance of something straight out of Back to the Future, I've just become a huge Kushida fan. In addition to the fact that he's got a great theme song, and the guy is just fucking fantastic in the ring. So again, in the ring, this should be just an excellent match. And of the two, I think Lethal's got to go over. Kushida has nothing to gain here from beating Lethal. Lethal is on the rise, en route to becoming Ring of Honor World Champion again, which would be great to see. Lethal is still one of the best hands they have in Ring of Honor. He kind of felt directionless for a while after dropping the title 2 years ago. But now he seems to be back on track, beating, again, like I said, everyone who has beaten him in recent months. And the next person on that list is Kushida, at best in the world. And that streak will continue on Friday night. For the Ring of Honor World Six-Man Tag Team titles, it's the Kingdom's Matt Taven, TK Orion, and Vinny Marseglia taking on Los Ingobernables de Japón, Bushi, Evil, and Sonata. That was an awful pronunciation, by the way, so I apologize for that. But again, another fun match. I would highly doubt that Los Ingobernables will be winning the championships here. I mean, they have been in Ring of Honor, like on and off for a few months now, but I'd be very surprised if the New Japan faction took the titles from a Ring of Honor trio. And I mean, I guess it's possible, but the Kingdom is another trio that just recently won gold, a lot like Punishment Martinez, and I'd be surprised if they dropped the championship so soon. I think they beat SoCal Uncensored, who have really been growing on me. And I've always enjoyed the Addiction, but just the trio of, what's his name? Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, and Scorpio Sky. They've really been growing on me as a unit ever since they started appearing on the Being the Elite show from the Young Bucks. The whole SCU, like that whole shtick they do on the show is just hilarious, and I find it to be great. They still have a lot of mileage left with that group, so hopefully they get the belts back at some point. But the Kingdom are on a roll right now. I'd be shocked if they drop the belts, and I don't think they will. Still, your Ring of Honor World Six-Man Tag Team Champions, the Kingdom. Flip Gordon taking on Bully Ray on the show after Bully Ray's recent issues with Cheeseburger. Flip Gordon stepping up to the plate to kind of represent the younger crew at Ring of Honor, standing up to the grizzled old bitter vet and Bully Ray. So this should be a fun match if they tell the right story. Bully Ray, I really have no interest in seeing him back in the ring at this point in 2018. The guy is an amazing heel. We kind of learned that in Impact, and, the guy can be a great heel, but just it just feels like he doesn't really need to be a part of the roster. If they utilize him well, and they kind of have so far in this feud with Cheeseburger, now Flip Gordon, they've done right by him. So this has been good so far. And as long as the match is good, I'm fine with Bully Ray sticking around for the foreseeable future as a singles act, despite the fact that he retired late last year, but whatever. Again, this should be a good match. Bully Ray does not need the victory. I could see them having him beat Gordon just to kind of add more heat to his current gimmick and become a bigger heel in the process. I think that would be a mistake. Flip Gordon is just an amazing athlete. The guy is really, really good. Another guy that has been slowly but surely, gradually building momentum and getting the fans on his side in recent months. So to have him lose here, I think would be a massive mistake. So Flip Gordon is my pick here to go over. For the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles, coming down to our final two matches here, assuming no other matches are added to the card at the last minute. We have the Briscoes, Jay and Mark Briscoe, defending the gold against the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson. This is going to be fucking great. This is going to be awesome. These two teams have had their fair share of matches over the last number of years since I started watching Ring of Honor on a regular basis in the summer of 2015, and every one of their encounters has been exceptional. This will be no exception. No pun intended, I guess. But, this is shaping up to be just an awesome match, and the Young Bucks are, as they always have been, one of the hottest acts in Ring of Honor right now, but so have the Briscoes been as well. The Briscoes have also been on quite the roll for themselves ever since they went heel late last year and took those titles from, who was it? The Motor City Machine Guns at the 16th anniversary show back in March. I wouldn't take the belts off them so soon. They've only been champions now for a few months. I would have them run through a few more teams before they drop the championships, and maybe this feud continues past this point. I would love it to, because the matches are sure to be stellar. Yeah, but I would have the Briscoes retain. I think for whatever reason, I think the Briscoes will find a way to win, retain those titles, but the Young Bucks won't be beaten decisively, and they'll get another shot at the straps at some point in the, in the near future, hopefully winning those belts from the Briscoes, maybe by the end of the summer. And then we get to the main event, a three-way match for the Ring of Honor World Championship. Cody, Marty Scurll vying for the gold against one Dalton Castle, whose reign as Ring of Honor World Champion has not been the most exciting. It's been good. It's been solid. He's had some nice matches with the likes of Marty Scurll. He had a very good match with Jay Lethal back at the 16th anniversary show, and a few other people. But Punishment Martinez, I know he faced on an episode of Ring of Honor TV. He's had a lot of good matches. The fact he recently got hurt didn't really help his momentum all too much, because he was out hurt for at least a month or so. But he will be back in action for this show, assuming they don't do a last-minute angle where he's written out and then it becomes Cody and Marty one-on-one for the Ring of Honor title. But again, should be a real interesting match to see how much tension is teased between Cody and Marty. I mean, Bullet Club is fine. They're still dragging that thing out, which has been an interesting angle to follow. It certainly kept my attention, but have they dragged it out past the point of where people, start to lose interest? You know what I mean? But again, it's going to be... we're not really sure. The jury is still out as to whether Cody might turn on Marty just to regain the Ring of Honor World title, or vice versa. Maybe Marty turns on Cody and Marty becomes the Ring of Honor World Champion. Either way, quite honestly, I do not see Dalton Castle leaving Maryland as the Ring of Honor World Champion. I just don't. I like Dalton Castle a lot. I think he's done a good job as the Ring of Honor World Champion in recent months. But you gotta strike while the iron is hot. And the fact of the matter is that Cody and Marty are the ones with momentum on their side right now. Of the two, I would put the belt on Marty. Cody had his run. Not to say I'd be disappointed by a Cody win. Cody becoming a two-time Ring of Honor World Champion would be pretty cool. It would position him, it would put him in a pretty good place going into that Kenny Omega IWGP title match, where he was kind of in a similar spot last year, I think at the G1. I think it was at the G1. He faced Okada at some sort of special in early July of 2017, where he was the Ring of Honor World Champion going into that match, vying for the belt against Okada. And he lost, of course, and he's going to lose again against Omega. So I would not put the belt on Cody, having him go into the IWGP or the New Japan show to lose yet another IWGP title match. As Ring of Honor World Champion, I don't know. It's not going to do damage to the belt at all, but I just think it might be too predictable. So anyway, I would have Marty Scurll get the belt. The guy has been primed for a breakout year in 2018. He had a great run as Ring of Honor World Champion last year. The only way for him to go from there was up. And now that he's in the Ring of Honor World title picture, this might be his final shot at the strap after losing to Dalton Castle over WrestleMania weekend. If he loses here, this might be the last ever opportunity he gets to becoming a Ring of Honor World Champion. So I would have Marty Scurll win. I don't think he will. My official prediction is Cody, but I do really desperately want to see Marty Scurll become the new Ring of Honor World Champion on this show. But overall, it has potential. Best in the World 2018 should be an awesome event. If you're not currently watching Ring of Honor, you should be. The product is doing a lot of good stuff right now. They have a lot of great competitors. They're building their company around, from Dalton, from Marty Scurll, to Cody, Jay Lethal, Kenny King, the returning Austin Aries, Punishment Martinez, Adam Page, and so many other awesome athletes. You can check out the show, I believe, on Honor Club. I am an Honor Club subscriber. I've yet to watch a live pay-per-view through Honor Club. I only really watch it on delay. But it should be fun to follow. I will not be around on Friday when it airs, but I do look forward to watching it the very next day as soon as possible.